Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 5.5 WOOP programming WOOP paradigm or object oriented programming paradigm in detail. Already I have introduced and explained the features and functionalities of three paradigms. The first one is monolithic, that is a single block, and the second one is a procedural. In procedural, actually, what is the main advantage is we can modularize the program. That's why program development process will be easy. Third one, structured programming. It is a merely advanced version of procedural programming and advanced features like top-down modular design, a well-defined set of control structures, and clear function-oriented programming approach all were implemented. That's why uh, based on that we can develop efficient programs very easily in a controllable manner. But what is the drawback in that is function is given higher priority, data is given second priority, and there is no much security for the data because data flows throughout the system. Anywhere it may be manipulated uh, with wrongly due to inadvertence or by accident. So data should be 100% secured. That's why, as an advanced paradigm uh, to structured programming, this WOOP is evolved. Actually, this is not the brainchild of the software industry. It is borrowed from the engineering and manufacturing industries. Actually, in this, the revolutionary changes are made. At one fact we have to understand: structured programming paradigm is subset of object-oriented programming. That's why every time I suggest students first you study structured programming, thereafter come to object-oriented programming. Here one strategy is there. Nobody can become a programmer overnight. You continuously study that, you have to work on that, and you have to enrich your experience day by day, time to time, and all that. One day you become a proficient programmer. That is the strategy. That's why C is a pure, true structured programming language or FOP, function oriented programming language. First learn FOP, that is C. Thereafter come to WOOP. Java is a true object oriented program. If you master C, then with the 50% of the efforts, you can master Java. Okay, that's why that is the right strategy. Now I am explaining uh, object oriented programming paradigm. In this, object is the building block. Actually, first you have to understand what is an object. An object is a self contained entity which contains data, and the functions which act upon the data, By this definition, you may not understand it 100%. That's why a simple example I have given. Here see, let us take a bank account. Bank account. If you take a bank account, now the corresponding data you know that customer's name, account type. Account type means it may be savings bank account, current account, recurring account, overdraft account, etc. and all that. And the account number and balance. What is the balance amount available on a particular day? These are the data items. And certain functions are required. What are the functions? Actually, for depositing money, one function. For withdrawing money from the account, this is another function. So after depositing or after withdrawal, balance need to be calculated, balancing, that also one function. Now if you see this figure, you can understand the strategy very clearly. Data around that functions are there. Data is totally hidden. Outside elements cannot access just like that. That means data is secured. And functions can act upon the data. So, what can you understand? What is the object? Object is a self-contained entity. It consists of data, a set of data, and a set of methods or functions which act upon the data. Here, the data and functions are integrated as one unit, one single identifiable unit with a identifiable name. It is 100% represents the real life. Actually, already I told you in structured programming, it represents the real life. It is closer to real life, but is not 100% representing the real life. This represents the real life. Just with this example, you can understand. Take a person, is a person. If you take this person, actually, I just, if you do not know biology also, you can understand this. Actually, in this, certain, in every person's body, certain data items are there. One is blood, other one is oxygen, other one is water. Let us take them as data. And what functions are there? Heart is one function, liver is another function, kidney is another function. Okay, now data and functions which act upon the data are encapsulated as one unit, integrated as one unit. What is inside nobody can see. You cannot also see. You claim this is my heart, my liver, my kidney, but you cannot see them. These are encapsulated. Whatever data inputs they require, they automatically take, they process and keep ready the corresponding output. Other organs will take that. You never give any instruction to your body. You may claim this is my blood, my oxygen, my water, my heart, my liver, my kidney, but you cannot give any instructions. Everything is automatic. Here also everything is automatic. Here this is integrated and you have some name, Suresh. This is one entity, single identifiable entity with a certain set of data items and a set of functions which are encapsulated, means integrated as one unit. And this person is called Suresh. Now you see, this is integrated in the same manner. It's called bank account. And in this, 4 data items are there, 3 functions are there which act upon the data items. Here, there are 3 data items are there, 3 functions are there which act upon the data items. So, you can find the so much uh, similarity between the both. So, object oriented systems perfectly represent the real life systems. How your body works, an object in this thing, in a object oriented program works. And in this context, actually you have to understand, in structured programming we learned that we apply top down modular approach. Here here it is based on bottom up approach. Bottom up, why, how bottom up approach is implemented, I have to explain. Actually, in object oriented analysis, we have to view, earlier in structured programming, how we viewed any activity, big activity you take, then it is composition of small activities. Suppose you have to shift your house. If you have to shift your house and all that, that is one activity. Then what are the sub activities? Packing, moving, packing, lifting and moving. So 3 sub-activities are there. By composition of 3 sub-activities, your job is performed. Always any task is composition of small task. In the same way, you take house construction. House construction purpose, which functions, which specialists you are engaging? Architect, engineer, mason, that painter, transporter, plumber, electrician, etc. and all that. And in one angle you see how your house is constructed. By collective contribution of all these specialists, your house is constructed. By collective contribution of three types of specialists, one is packer, second one is lifter, third one is mover, your house got shifted. Understand? That is your analysis. But as far as object oriented programming is concerned, your analysis is totally different. Then any task is any program is collection of objects. So you have to develop that bent of mind. Now already I explained in structured programming how we think, how a house is built and all that. Here you think differently. Now I give you another analysis. What is the analysis? A building. You take a building. A building is composition of rooms. A composition of set of rooms. Now you see. Now this is a building, and this is composition of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any building you take on the earth, and it is composition of rooms. In the same manner, you take and a classroom you take. A classroom, any class of a school or college you take. Now it is a collection of student objects. Just simple logic, simple analysis. Any class you take, in class 60 students are there. So a class is composition of 60 students. Every student is an object. So now let us go one more step further. You take a school. A school is composition of certain objects. What are those objects? Class. Suppose in a school 10 classes are there. So it is a school is composition of 10 classes. Understand? Each class is composition of number of objects. Each building is composition of certain number of rooms. This is the analysis. Of course, it is not so easy to find the similarity between structured programming and object oriented programming. However, I try to dilute it and explain it to you in a delicious manner in forthcoming concept. Till then, you have to understand that in object oriented programming, every program is composition of objects. Now you see, this is a building. If you take, it is composition of a set of rooms. If you take any classroom, 10th class, 9th class, 5th class, 4th class, any class, then it is composition of a set of student objects. If you take any school or college, it is composition of certain number of classes. Understand? This is object oriented analysis.